Super Back to the Future, a platformer released for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System (SNES) in 1993, offers players a nostalgic trip through the iconic Back to the Future film franchise. While it captures the essence of the movies with its charming graphics and faithful recreation of key moments, the game falls short in terms of gameplay depth and overall execution. One of the game's strengths lies in its visuals. The 16-bit graphics effectively capture the spirit of the Back to the Future films, with well-detailed character sprites and colorful environments. Fans of the franchise will appreciate the attention to detail in replicating iconic scenes and characters. From the bustling streets of Hill Valley to the futuristic landscapes of the future, the game successfully immerses players in the world of Marty McFly and Doc Brown. However, where Super Back to the Future falters is in its gameplay. While the platforming elements are solid, the game lacks depth and variety in its mechanics. Players control Marty as he navigates through levels, facing off against familiar foes like Biff and overcoming obstacles inspired by the films. The inclusion of a time travel mechanic adds an interesting twist, but it ultimately feels underutilized and gimmicky. The controls are serviceable, but can feel clunky at times, leading to frustration during precision platforming sections. Marty's movements lack the fluidity seen in other platformers of the era, making it difficult to execute precise jumps and maneuvers. This lack of responsiveness detracts from the overall enjoyment of the game and can lead to repetitive trial-and-error gameplay. Another issue with Super Back to the Future is its difficulty level. While a certain degree of challenge is expected in retro platformers, the game's steep learning curve may deter less experienced players. The lack of checkpoints or save features means that progress is easily lost, leading to frustration and discouragement. This high level of difficulty may appeal to hardcore gamers seeking a challenge, but it limits the game's accessibility to a broader audience. The soundtrack, while serviceable, fails to leave a lasting impression. While it features catchy tunes that complement the game's atmosphere, they lack the memorable melodies found in other classic SNES titles. The sound effects are also unremarkable, with generic noises that fail to add depth to the gameplay experience. In terms of content, Super Back to the Future falls short. The game can be completed relatively quickly, and there is limited replay value beyond attempting to improve high scores or speedrun times. The lack of additional modes or unlockables means that once the main campaign is completed, there is little incentive to return to the game. In conclusion, Super Back to the Future on the SNES offers a nostalgic trip through the world of the Back to the Future films, but it ultimately falls short in terms of gameplay depth and execution. While the visuals faithfully capture the spirit of the movies, the clunky controls, steep difficulty curve, and lack of content limit the game's overall appeal. While it may hold some nostalgic value for fans of the franchise, it fails to stand out among the plethora of platformers available on the SNES platform.